All it really takes is 5 minutes of scrolling on Instagram or Pinterest, or even sometimes Facebook, and just people you really know well, to suddenly feel like you are not good enough. You're not a good enough mom. You're not doing a good enough job. Everyone else has got it together. Everyone else is doing better than you, and you're just failing. It's honestly so easy to feel that way, to convince yourself that that's the truth. But the truth is that that's not true. So much of what you see online is just either it's completely fictional, or it's just a small piece of someone's life, a small piece of their day, a small piece of their home. And I think that if you are someone like me who is not what I would say is a natural homemaker, and it just feels like that's something that's not attainable. So today I'm going to prove to you guys through my own trials and errors how you can be a good homemaker even when you are not good at homemaking. If you're new here, I will give you the Cliff Note version that we are a large family. We're a family of 10. I have 8 children. We live on about 10 acres, and we kind of have a hobby farm homestead. We have lots of animals. I have been learning how to garden and how to take care of animals, sometimes not so well, and learning how to grow food and flowers, and I'm trying my hand at all these things. I fail a lot. I also homeschool. I've been homeschooling my kids for over 10 years now, and that's one of the few areas that I feel very, very confident in, but that's because I've been doing it for a really long time and I've made the mistakes. So the point is, I'm not coming to you in this video from a place of perfection and saying, I got it all together and I'm just wonderful. I'm saying, look, I've cracked the code. I figured out how to hack homemaking, how to hack into feeling like you're a really good homemaker when it's not your natural inclination, when it's not who you feel like you naturally are as a person or a woman or a mother or a wife or whatever the case may be. You can still be an excellent homemaker, and I'm gonna tell you how, okay? Of course, all of this is just opinion, and you may walk away from this video and think, I could do all those things and I'd still be a terrible homemaker. I'm just gonna give you the information. Do what you want with it. Number 1, I learned how, and am still learning, how to prioritize. If you don't know what is most important to you in your day, then you're just going to be blowing like a seed in the wind, okay? There's something else that came to my mind there, but I wasn't going to say it because it's not appropriate for YouTube. You're just going to be flipping and flopping around, okay? You'll just get swept up in what you see other people prioritizing, and that may have absolutely nothing to do with your life and your family. As I've spoken about before, priorities are about you. They're about your life and your family. What will make you feel successful in a day, what will make you feel accomplished in a day, has really nothing to do with what anyone else would say or put down on that list. It has everything to do with you and what your life looks like and what accomplishment looks like to you. So knowing that and then prioritizing those things. So if you know that part of what makes you feel like you're doing a good job as a homemaker is that your house is tidy, that it's picked up, then that's something you're going to want to prioritize. If it's that your kids are always dressed and looking cute every day with their hair done and looking wonderful, you're going to want to prioritize that. It's really up to you. I have things that I prioritize because they work well for me and they help me every day to function, to be more productive, and at the end of the day to be able to feel like I did what I needed to do. But I can't tell you what those things are or what they should be for you because only you can know that. So focusing on priorities has really, really helped me to hack homemaking. Number 2, and maybe this should have been number 1, honestly, is to stop comparing yourself to other people. This is so hard, I get it. As someone who is fastly approaching 40, I can tell you that the ability to put the blinders on and not compare myself to other people, what they're doing in so many facets of life, it has gotten easier the older I've gotten. And I think that's true for a lot of people. The older you get, the easier it gets to go, you know what, that's great for her. Good for her, not for me. Good for her, not for me. And that's kind of how I feel, and how I've been able to feel like I'm an excellent homemaker is by not comparing my home and what it looks like and how it functions to anyone else that I know, because I don't live in their homes. Okay, I don't know how they function all the time. I only know what they show me. And that's the truth of any situation. Unless you're living in that home and living with those people, you only know what they show you. You might go over there, you might hang out, you might visit, you might spend time there. It's not the same. You only know what people really want you to know in most circumstances. And so understand that whatever you've built up in your mind that says that they're so great at this and I'm so bad, it could be completely false. And you really, really have to put those blinders on, focus on your family, your situation, and the things that matter most to you. Number 3 is to create a schedule/routine. I am vehemently anti-schedule. It's just part of who I am. The word is like nails on a chalkboard. I hear schedule and I'm like, yeah. You tell me that I have to do something every day, I immediately don't want to do it. It wouldn't matter if it was eating donuts. I would just be like, nope, if you say I have to do it every day at 9 o'clock, I'm not doing it. Now, obviously, I am an adult, so I can push past those feelings, but my inclination is to run when someone tells me that I have to be on a strict schedule. So I have learned over the years to reframe that for my crazy little brain and think of it more as a routine, a flow of the day. That works much better. And honestly, it just works better because who among us has written a schedule and been able to stick to it strictly? It's very, very hard. You have to be really anal. And I just don't like to live that way. So I'm not that type A. I just can't. So having a good routine with a flow or a rhythm for our day, it tells us that this is generally the flow of things. And I don't have to get stressed out if it's 10 minutes past when I thought I would be doing this, or this kid is supposed to be taking a nap at 1 o'clock. I've been raising kids for 15 years, okay, 15 and a half years. And everybody's good, okay? So I can tell you that not having overly strict schedules, your kids are going to be fine. Good routines, rhythms, flows, they know what to expect. They get that safety and security sense that they're craving. Doesn't have to be to the minute, okay? So deciding what that is though, what it looks like for you. I've shared before a little bit about our routines and rhythms. I do have some things available on my website, some printables and such to help you with certain areas of this. So I'll leave all that linked down below, but creating a rhythm for your family is so important and really helps everybody to stay on the same page, and you will feel like a rock star homemaker. Number 4 is to figure out your stuff, what your happy place is with the amount of things that you have in your home. There's a huge push for minimalism. There's a ton of that kind of information and content out there. Essentialism, I just read a book on that recently that I loved. And I am trying to become more of an essentialist than a minimalist, but one does sometimes lead to the other. I'm just not good at being a minimalist. I love trinkets and I love having certain little things that evoke memories and feelings and stuff like that. And I'm not good at being a minimalist, and it's not my happy place with the amount of things that we have. But only you can decide, and only I can decide for me what that happy place with our stuff looks like. For me, it looks like I have the amount of stuff that I can reasonably take care of, keep picked up and organized on a daily basis. If I find that a particular room in our house, a particular category of things is getting out of control, then I know that I have crossed that threshold of the amount of that stuff that I can have and still be able to feel like I'm doing a good job as a homemaker. I'm still keeping my house tidy. I'm still doing these other things that matter to me. But if the stuff in that category is taking over, then I know it's time to kind of reprioritize, reassess, and evaluate and get rid of some stuff. So only you can decide what that is, but knowing it and sticking to it is going to help you in the journey to hack homemaking, to be the best homemaker you can be, is to know what that is for yourself, okay? And to stick to it, make yourself stick to it, even if you're tempted to add more or go cutthroat and get rid of everything. If you know that in the long run is going to make you very unhappy that you did that, you're really going to miss those certain things, or, they do make your life easier to have those things. It's okay to have those things. Strict, very, very, very strict minimalism isn't for everyone, and that is okay. Number 5 is delegation of chores. This is very, very, very important. I've said this before, and I'm going to preach it till the day I die. You're a mom, not a maid. If you're a mom and you have kids, you're a mom, not a maid. A lot of times people will conflate being a homemaker with being everyone's maid. And that's actually not what that means. For me, being a homemaker is more about the overall ethos of my home, how it functions, how it runs, and kind of, big picture taking care of my family and my home. But it does not mean that I am swearing some kind of an oath to be a maid to everyone in my home and to clean up after everyone and never ask anything of them, never expect anything of them. Maybe some people love that and go on with your bad self, but for me, that would be a miserable existence, and I think I would grow bitter. And I also don't think that it helps you to raise self-sufficient children who are productive in the world and in their own sphere of life and with people that they engage with and such. So overall, I think it's a great idea to include the entire family in chores and for you to delegate things and to not be afraid to ask for help, to not see it as you somehow not doing your job as a homemaker if you ask for help from someone. Think about any other job you've ever had. Has it ever been a scenario where you can't ask for help? Of course not. You can ask for help from bosses. You can ask for help from coworkers, people above you, beneath you, in line. You can ask for help. It's okay. And as a homemaker, you can and should ask for help when and where you need it. Please just don't sacrifice yourself on the altar of thinking that what makes you an excellent homemaker is the fact that you can do everything yourself and you never need any help from anybody. This is the wrong kind of martyrdom. And it not only is a disservice to you, it's a disservice to those around you, to your children, to future generations. Number 6 is meal planning. If you are catching a theme by this point, hopefully you are, it's that setting up these different areas of framework are really the key. So meal planning. How many times do we get to the end of the day and we're like, this day has been insane and I have no idea what I'm feeding these people. And you're throwing dry cereal and pepperoni slices at your kids, okay? We've all been there, and I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that on occasion. But if you want to feel like you have really hacked this homemaking thing and you got it together, part of that is, you want to be eating nutritious meals, serving nutritious meals to your family, delicious things that you love and hopefully they love too. How you can do that is through meal planning. This is something that we have been working on getting better at as a family for years. And I finally feel like we have gotten to a really good place with it where we have our, sort of regular rotations. Don't feel like you have to serve new things every week. It has to be like a surprise grab bag dinner. No one's ever had this before in the history of man. You don't need to reinvent the wheel every single meal. It's a good saying. I like that. Find meals that your family likes and make those on repeat. We all know about Taco Tuesday, but we love to have breakfast for dinner or Brinner because who doesn't love breakfast food? We all love breakfast food. It's very easy, very quick. So we typically, when we're sitting down to make our meal plan, we know we're going to plug in breakfast for dinner one night, some kind of Mexican like taco burrito, something like that, some kind of pasta dish, spaghetti and meatballs or spaghetti carbonara. We know that we might do, if we're doing a 2-week meal plan, we might do a pizza one night, that kind of thing. So it's just, if you already have all those plugged in, then oftentimes you're really only ever meal planning or trying to generate ideas for a couple new meals a week, 1, 2, maybe. I find it to be the easiest, the best way to stick to things. Then you're grocery shopping from that. You have all your ingredients. You're not having to run to the store back and forth. And no one's going to die from eating much of the same thing frequently. Okay, no one's going to die from that. Everyone will live. You don't have to serve some exotic cuisine every week that is different and new. Stick to what you know and insert new things, try new things as you feel like you've got this. You feel as though you've got a handle on your regular dinners and cooking and meal plans. Then you can start to kind of add in some different things and try new things. But try to make it as simple as you can from the beginning. And I do have meal planning printables and grocery lists and such as well. That will be linked down below. Number 7, and I think this one is one that many, many, many women I know struggle with, myself included, and that is to not sweat the small stuff. I think we can get really, really, really caught up in little things that don't really matter, but we decide in our head that they matter and they're a really big deal. And I'm not being a good mom, and I'm not being a good wife, and I'm being a terrible homemaker because I blah, blah, blah. We pick some little thing and we fixate on it, and we don't look at the big picture. We don't think of the big picture of our family, either from the day, the week, the month, the year, overall, like how things are going, the entire ethos of your home. You just focus in on these little things. And again, I'm just as guilty of it as the next person, but trying to do better with this over the years. Maybe it's just because I'm getting old and tired, but either way, the older I get, the less that I tend to sweat the small stuff, because I have seen firsthand how little that stuff actually matters. And once you've got older kids who are able to be like, no, I don't remember that at all. What are you talking about? And you're thinking that your kids were like, oh, my mom was so terrible. She did X or Y or whatever it is. And they don't even remember it. It's like we stress about so many things that don't really matter in the long run. And so getting better at letting go. Maybe you need to go back and watch Frozen a few more times, but let it go. Okay, just let it go. Don't sweat the small stuff, let it go. And that is a good mantra for all things, but especially when it comes to homemaking. Just woosah, let it go, move on. You will thank yourself later, and your future self will thank you too, because you will realize that you saved yourself so many years of being a stressed, grumpy, tired mom, wife, by just letting things go. And the last thing, and arguably the most important thing, is that at the end of the day, don't forget, you are a wonderful mother. You are a wonderful wife. You're a wonderful spouse. The fact that you're even trying to figure out how to do certain things better says that you have a level of care for these things that some people don't. Some people don't even have the awareness that they should care about those things. So you're already 5 steps ahead by just thinking about it and wanting to improve certain areas. I think that, as I've said over the years, a posture of gratitude, of thankfulness is so important to your everyday, and also be able to hold a good sense of perspective of your life, of your circumstances. Again, I know that it's not that we're playing a game of who's got it worse or anything like that. But I think even within your own life, comparing to times that maybe things were harder, and how things have changed for you for the better, and really just the perspective in our lives that a lot of the things that we worry about, stress about, beat ourselves up about are so insignificant in the long term. They're so insignificant in the big picture of the world and of the entirety of your life. This little thing, and you're just looking at it when you pull back to that kind of 30,000 foot view. You're looking at this little thing going like, why am I stressing about that again? That is so dumb. So I think that kind of posture of perspective and gratitude are so important for me to keep myself focused every day, to keep myself feeling like I want to do my best and I'm trying my hardest, but I'm also not beating myself up and having unrealistic expectations of myself. I still am who I am, okay? I'm still going to bite off more than I can chew sometimes. I'm still going to get overly excited about ideas or things and take on too much, but I've gotten a lot better at going, okay, well, that's not working, so let me step back. What can I drop? What can I let go of? So being able to do that for yourself and readjust and get back to it. It's not going to be this perfectly linear journey to like, I am an excellent homemaker. I am the matriarch of all matriarchs. It's going to be this zigzag journey where sometimes you're doing really great and then you're like, veering off into a ditch, and then you get yourself back out and you're getting back on the straight and narrow. It's a back and forth, but being able to get yourself out of the ditch and get back on the straight path is the hardest part. And if you can do that, then it doesn't matter, because you can't be stopped if you're not stopping. I hope this video was helpful for you. I want to end it with something that I stumbled across online the other day that I just really, really loved. So I'm going to close out the video and read to you this homemaker's prayer. The author is unknown, but I thought it was really beautiful, and maybe it will encourage you too. Lord, we thank thee for the sink of dirty dishes. We have good food to eat. Thank you for this pile of dirty laundry. We have nice clothes to wear. Thank you for these unmade beds. They were comfortable last night. Thanks for this bathroom, complete with soggy towels, splattered mirror, and grimy sink. Thank you for this finger-smudged refrigerator that needs defrosting so badly. Thank you for this oven that absolutely must be cleaned. It's baked many good meals over the years. Our whole family is grateful for that tall grass that needs to be mowed. Thanks for that slamming screen door. The children are healthy and able to run and play. Lord, the presence of all these chores awaiting me says that you have richly blessed this family. I shall do them all gratefully and cheerfully. Amen.